Behind the scenes drama, David Ornstein reveals Arsenal are already acting like they've sealed £51 million star. Plus, Insider reveals what Thomas Partey must do to secure a new contract. All this and more you can check out now with the top Arsenal news directly from Emirates Stadium, so make sure to like the video and check your subscription so you don't miss any updates. And without further ado, let's get started. Arsenal could be set for an exciting summer transfer window. Arsenal will be signing a new striker this summer according to Fabrizio Romano, and that may not be the only exciting new addition at the Emirates. Indeed, Arsenal have also been linked with Nico Williams, while according to David Ornstein, the Gunners already seem to believe that one signing this summer is secured. According to Ornstein, Arsenal are internally already acting as if they have signed Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Zubimendi has agreed personal terms with Arsenal, and the Gunners are acting as though that is a done deal at this point. Ornstein shared what he's been hearing from Arsenal about Zubimendi, speaking to NBC. The journalist says that Jorginho will likely leave Arsenal this summer, but he will be replaced by the £51 million man, with the Gunners acting internally as if that one is a done deal. Fellow midfielder Jorginho is going to be leaving, we believe, when his terms expire at the end of the campaign. They will be adding to the midfield with the arrival of Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Arsenal are acting internally as if that is a done deal. They're also looking to add into the attack. Arsenal's midfield options next season. If Arsenal managed to pull off the signing of Zubimendi, mate, we could be looking at one hell of a midfield next season. No joke. This could be a real game changer. We all know how Arteta sets up his team. A proper number 6 holding things down, a dynamic number 8 linking play, and a creative number 10 pulling the strings. Now imagine adding Zubimendi into that mix. It's actually mad how strong our midfield could become. Picture this, Zubimendi sitting deep, Rice doing his box-to-box thing, and Odegaard doing his magic further forward. That's a trio that can dominate any midfield in the league. And it's not just about the starting 11, we've got real depth too. Thomas Partey might be sticking around with a new deal on the horizon, and let's not sleep on Miles Lewis-Skelly. The kid's got serious talent and can definitely step in when needed. If this all comes together, honestly, we could be talking about Arsenal having the most complete, balanced, and dangerous midfield in the entire Premier League. Next season could be special. Mikel Arteta needs to avoid making a big mistake with Mikel Merino for Arsenal versus PSG in the Champions League. If Thomas Partey hadn't picked up a needless yellow card in Arsenal's second leg against Real Madrid, Mikel Arteta's team selection would be pretty straightforward. Arsenal were unchanged in both legs of their quarterfinal against Madrid, and Mikel Merino was leading the line up top. However, Partey will be suspended and unavailable when Paris Saint-Germain arrive in North London next week. Arsenal now want to give Partey a new contract on the back of his excellent performances this season, and he will be sorely missed against PSG. And perhaps the most likely solution will be to drop Merino back into the number 8 role, with Declan Rice then predominantly acting as a defender at the base of Arteta's midfield. Although, on evidence of Arsenal's 2-2 draw against Crystal Palace, Arteta could be making a big mistake. If Merino is playing in midfield, Leandro Trossard will come in as Arsenal's number 9, a winger who has been in fine goal-scoring form recently. However, in a disappointing performance against Palace, Arsenal seriously lacked a focal point. Arteta's team didn't have an option to go long, and it was also evident that Arsenal were missing Merino's presence at set pieces. Under Nicola Jover, Arsenal are always praised in dead ball situations. However, Arteta's team looked unusually vulnerable against Palace. Merino would obviously still be able to provide that side of his game were he playing in midfield, but Arsenal would be sacrificing a lot by losing him as a striker. That being said, Arteta needs to resist any temptation to drop Merino into midfield against PSG, even if it means making changes elsewhere. Of course, Arteta said Miles Lewis-Skelly could play in midfield against PSG to cover Partey's absence. It wouldn't be ideal to move the 18-year-old away from his left-back role where he's been playing so brilliantly, but Arsenal might have either Ricardo Calafiori or Ben White fit to come into their back line. Lewis-Skelly could either play as a number 6 or an 8 in the middle, possibly allowing Rice to continue in an advanced role. And if Jorginho is actually fit for the first leg, he might just be able to simply replace Partey in the pivot. It's a tricky problem for Arteta to solve, but ones that Arsenal fans can trust their manager to ultimately get right. Insider reveals what Thomas Partey must do to secure a new contract. Thomas Partey's future at Arsenal remains uncertain as the 2024/2025 season is about to draw to a close. Partey was expected to leave Arsenal a month ago, however the situation seems to have changed and there is a possibility that Partey could renew his contract at Arsenal and remain at the Emirates Stadium. A return to La Liga could be on the books for him as Barcelona are interested in signing Partey as Hansi Flick's side view him as an alternative to Joshua Kimmich, who extended his contract until 2029. Partey was expected to join Barcelona when the links first emerged as well. Thomas Partey must take pay cut to earn new contract at Arsenal. Thomas Partey has proven his value to Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta in recent weeks, as over both legs of the Champions League quarterfinal against Real Madrid, he was a class apart. It seems like Andrea Berta's arrival has helped Partey return to his best, as earlier this campaign, it looked like he was on his last legs. But now, one source has informed ESPN that for Partey to be handed a new contract at Arsenal, he would have to accept a pay cut. However, even if the 31-year-old says yes to such an agreement, it remains to be seen whether he will continue his time at the Emirates Stadium. Word around the Emirates is that Arsenal reckon they've already got Martin Zubimendi locked in. And if that's true, it might shake things up for Thomas Partey next season. Let's be real, with Declan Rice basically undroppable and Zubimendi potentially slotting straight into that number 6 role, Partey could find himself watching more games from the bench than he'd like. And the big question is, will he be cool with playing second fiddle? That said, there's still a lot of love for Partey at the club, and honestly, it wouldn't be shocking at all if he ends up signing a new deal. There are a few solid reasons why the club might want to keep him around. First off, Arteta rates his versatility. The guy can slot in wherever he's needed in midfield, and that's gold in a long season. Second, Partey's a proper leader in the dressing room, someone the younger lads clearly look up to. And finally, he's a total pro, always puts in the work, stays focused, no drama. So yeah, even if he's not starting every week, there's a good chance Partey sticks around as a key squad figure. Right now though, Arteta's got bigger things on his plate. All eyes are on that upcoming showdown with PSG. Big test incoming. Paul Merson has just predicted the winner of Arsenal versus PSG over both legs of the Champions League semi-final. Paul Merson was initially confident in predicting that Arsenal will topple PSG. While Paul Merson rates PSG highly as a side, where he feels Arsenal have an advantage over them is the fact that the French giants have already lost knockout games to the likes of Liverpool and Aston Villa. Merson said on Sky Sports, "Yeah, I think Arsenal win over 2 legs. I think Arsenal win. I think we still get carried away with the PSG of the first leg against Liverpool. I thought they were outstanding. One of the best team performances we've seen this season from anyone, but they lost the game. They lost that game 1-0. People still forget that. They are outstanding, but they were hanging on, absolutely hanging on at Anfield. Then they go and play Villa, and they absolutely dominated Villa, scored last kick of the game, which worked out to be a priceless goal in the end to go 3-1 up, and then they want to Villa Park. And at times in that game, it got to stages where you're thinking there's only one winner here, and that's Aston Villa. Paul Merson went on to pinpoint that Mikel Arteta's Arsenal side are disciplined, which could also give them an edge against PSG. I think Arsenal have every chance. I'd just slightly go with Arsenal over PSG over legs. I think Arsenal are very disciplined, and I think Arsenal win this. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.